Hello, everybody. Yes, Tuesday. It is Tuesday. And today we have Mackensie. Let me know if I'm butchering your last name or not. Liberman,
Yep.
and we're gonna be talking about chatbots, and how we can use them for our, e-commerce businesses and how they can help us, have a better way of capturing, leads and helping us, with customer service and support. It depends how you set them up. I'm not the expert, so I won't even pretend to talk about this. And honestly, every single bot that I have in my system has been made by someone else because it's the way it works. So I am not going to pretend to be an expert, but you know she is. So I will give the microphone to her, let her to introduce herself and talk a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and we can go to the topic.
Sweet. Okay, awesome. So yeah, my name is Mackenzie Liberman, and I have been utilizing chatbots and running messenger marketing campaigns since early 2017. Before that, I was a clinically certified cytogeneticist. I used to analyze people's chromosomes for abnormalities. So I did that for about a decade. So my background is in science. And then I made the transition over to digital marketing, mainly because I just wanted to do something from home around my kids and my family, and wanted to do something that would impact the world more, and I could see more people rather than being stuck in a lab with no windows. So that's how digital marketing came into my world. But since jumping into chatbots, I've built numerous, I don't even know how many chatbots for so many different industries and different use cases, from e-commerce to brick and mortar stores, coaches, consultants. And I've been on multiple podcasts and spoken on stage about chatbots. I'm a ManyChat super user. People actually think I work for ManyChat just because how well I know the platform. I am pretty tight with the CEO. Like he I have his ear if need be. But yeah, so I've been utilizing chatbots pretty much since the beginning, going through, of course, all the changes that Facebook decides to throw at us. The only constant really with Facebook is change. And throughout the whole thing, yeah, right. So much change. iOS 14 changes, right? Prime example. So yeah, chatbots have been amazing and gotten great results. And the fact that they're super customizable to whatever your end goal is, whether that's, getting more sales through Amazon, or if you have, a print on demand store, having your chatbot to be like your assistant to help you out with getting orders or getting proposals made up. Really, a chatbot can help not only you, but also your customer, especially for different customer service questions, things like that, because we all know in today's society, people want answers right now, right? So being able to build your chatbot to answer those frequently asked questions and also to help you out. So, and then being able to, like I was saying with Facebook's changes, being able to utilize not just Messenger, but multiple different channels, including SMS and email, and having it a multi-channel approach where all three of them work congruently with each other, so that way you get the best results and also reach people where they're at.
Awesome. We have Facebook glitch, so it's barely starting in the Facebook group for some odd reason.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I guess it's streamer in Facebook glitch right now. So that's what I was distracted a little bit. I was like trying to see what the heck is going on. So I mean, we are live on YouTube and we are live in the Facebook page, but we are in the groups. It's barely starting. Like they literally just started popping the mute, and it's resetting. It's starting again. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's in YouTube and it's in my page, so we can, when we finish, we can replay it, and whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Share it on those.
So, but and you're saying because we may have a little bit of a lot of audience probably not watching because it's on cycle, it's reloading. It's weird.
Facebook.
Yeah, it started the countdown again, like literally, like I'm not joking. It started the countdown again. So
that's frustrating for those people. It's like, when is this going to stop counting down?
So I wanted to let you know because you want to be like, hey, like we're gonna see like the drop of people watching, but in YouTube is not having issues.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Facebook is having no issues. So
okay,
so you're watching. I'm sorry, you are getting reloaded. It's just the way it is happening. So the bots. I hear a lot of stories, right? We hear a lot of stories that Facebook banned them, that Facebook doesn't want them, that Facebook wants to have only their messenger work for them. Yet ManyChat keeps finding solutions, and it's like they're always like an uphill battle going. I was gonna go to a ManyChat convention just not long, right before COVID hit in Austin, because they're in Austin, and they always, there's literally a 2-hour drive for me to go to the conventions, and and they're extremely cheap, anyways. It's probably one of the cheapest conventions they have, and they have like luncheons and stuff like that they invite everybody. So it's one of the few companies that are very open and having the users come and visit, and it's something I like about them. I just didn't have the opportunity to go because they had to stop doing that. But how do you get around that? I mean, people keep saying bots are banned, but they don't want bots, yet bots keep growing and keep being a big, part of, our business. To the point that sometimes they're getting so smart that sometimes you don't even know you're talking to a computer, and it's kind of sad.
right.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I have to throw, like a weird curveball just to see what they answer me, and it's like so that to finally know if I'm talking to the right person or use an automated system. Right. How do we do that?
Yeah, so actually, Facebook does want automation in Messenger, and I know this because I've actually had calls and spoken with the head of Facebook's Messenger department. And their main focus right now really is e-commerce. And if you didn't know, they're actually opening up Instagram automation. So they're opening up new channels. They're also opening up WhatsApp also. So it's not like they don't want chatbots. They just want Facebook Messenger chatbots specifically to not be spammy. They don't want it to be like email. So of course, the first thing that they opened up was Messenger, and it was like the wild, wild west for like 2 years for the most part, right? And of course, people abused it, and it got too much for what Facebook wanted it to be. So they put on some limitations. Mainly right now, the main limitation is that you can only engage with or send automation to people who have engaged with your chatbot in the last 24 hours, unless they're, what's that?
Which is none of them.
Well, yeah, unless though it fits one of 3 message types, and that would be post-purchase update, which it's e-commerce. Someone makes a purchase, of course you can send them a message about their purchase, that it's been shipped, about it being delivered, things like that. Account update tag is really boring, like saying that someone's applied for a job or applied for some credit card is another example that I gave, that wanted to give them an update on their account that they've applied for. And then the third one is event update. So like if you're having an event, being able to let people know, hey, the event's starting, things like that. So those are the main tags that you can use to reach them outside of 24 hours. And then also on top of that, Facebook has implemented what's called a one-time notification. So this is really great for people that are in your list that are really interested in what you have to offer, that you want to reach them outside of those 24 hours. So like, for example, let's say with e-commerce, like let's say you're going to have, or let's say one of your products is out of stock, for example, that if somebody wants to know when it's back in stock, they can click the notify me button, and then that will allow you to send them a message saying, hey, the product is back in stock, click here to go get it. So, and you can send that anytime outside of 24 hours. So that's one way that Facebook has kind of, I guess, 2 ways. The tags and then the one-time notification are a couple ways that you can still reach your users outside of 24 hours. But of course, when I'm building bots, I'm always thinking big picture. So, and I also like to do reverse engineering. So in terms of like building out the bot, utilizing multi-channel, so SMS and email. Even if you're using email otherwise for your business, you can still use email and SMS through ManyChat. And the benefit of that is you can actually set up, like, let's say you want to send out a notification of a flash sale. So you can send a broadcast and you can reach people who either one, have engaged in your chatbot in the last 24 hours. So that's a free message, right? That you can just send to people. Two, people who have opted in for a one-time notification about the next offer, right? That you say, hey, I'm going to be, having another sale upcoming. Would you like to be notified when that starts? And they say, notify me. So then you can send them that message. If the person doesn't hit one of those two criteria, then the third criteria can be SMS, because that's just as engaging as Messenger. And then that way you can send the SMS to people with the goal of getting them back into Messenger. So the whole goal is to get them back into Messenger as the hub. So then that way, like, let's say someone gets an SMS because they haven't engaged with your chatbot in the last day, or they haven't opted into a one-time notification. They get the SMS, they click the link that gets them back into Messenger, that you can give them the information about, the sale, for example. Well, when they click that link in SMS, it reopens that 24-hour window. So the goal is to try and get them to re-engage inside of Messenger as often as possible, with the process of asking them to opt in for the next one-time notification. So the whole goal is to try to keep pushing them up into the Messenger engagement side of things. And then lastly, with that hierarchy from Messenger to SMS, is email. And emails, as we all know, especially in e-commerce, email is not dead. And so with the email, you can send the same thing, letting people know that there's a sale happening. They click the link, again, it takes them into Messenger. Well, because you haven't gotten their SMS because they didn't fit that criteria, big goal there is, of course, asking them to be notified via Messenger for a future offer or whatever, but also getting their SMS so that way they move up that tree of hierarchy. So that's when you're building the chatbots, that's the big picture that I like to build, knowing that in the future you can utilize all of those different channels to reach those people. And last but not least is utilizing sponsored messages. So you can actually pay Facebook as a Facebook ad to send messages to your users. On average, the cost is between 2 to 5 cents a message. So, I mean, if you think about it, if you send out a bunch of messages at that cost and you get a sale off of that, or multiple sales, you can see that there's quite a bit of potential ROI on that. The only downside to sponsored messages right now is there's actually two. One is you can only reach between 40 to 50% of your entire audience that you set to send it to. And it's just random. And I don't know why you can't get more. That's like, if I could change one thing, it would be that. Because I would send sponsored messages all day, every day, just because of the potential ROI and reaching people on Messenger. The second thing is it delivers over a time frame. So let's say you have a flash sale going on between the hours of like 2 and 5 p.m. You would not want to use sponsored messages because it's like a Facebook ad. It has to go through the approval process. And then once it's approved, it'll start delivering out. You can set an end date, but if you want to try and reach as many people possible, it takes about 2 to 3 days to deliver it to that entire audience. But again, if you're doing like a weekend flash sale, then that would be totally useful, that you could first send your messages to people organically, like I was mentioning with the hierarchy of engagement through Messenger, SMS, and email. And then for those who don't engage or haven't clicked, then you can set up a sponsored message to those people to try and get them through a sponsored message. So that's usually a strategy that I like to use to try and get the most use case of it.
So it's not like an ad, and then it's just like you pay per message. It's like an SMS service, but it's a Messenger. That's what you're saying? Yeah. Sponsor messages? Okay.
Yep, sponsor messages, yeah. Through.
And I have always wondered if that's an actual ad. And I actually asked a couple of people, and they never had a good answer. So now I know. I have seen that you can.
So I mean, there's a way to do it organically, like I was saying, through Messenger if you've been able to engage with them in the last 24 hours, or the one-time notification. But there's also the paid option that is a Facebook ad technically, still goes through the approval process. And it's kind of funny, actually. I have an e-commerce client who we were running, we ran a flash sale a couple months ago on one product, 25% off for the weekend. And so I did the whole sponsored message and we got quite a few sales. So we actually did that again this last weekend, and I just duplicated it, right? That's the other thing. You create messaging, and then you can easily duplicate it and reuse it, so you don't have to recreate the wheel all the time. But when I ran it this last time, after a day, I got a notification that Facebook rejected the ad and stopped delivering it because it's a pet supplement, and so it helps with dogs and their anxiety, and so it's like they were freaking out because I said, does your dog suffer from anxiety? So that personal attribute, I'm like, really? That applies to a dog, like to your dog, not to you. Like, so it's not a personal attribute of the person, but their dog. So I was like, okay, whatever, Facebook. So they're, finicky sometimes too, change their mind.
Yeah, they have so many words now in the ban list that it just makes it difficult for you to think about, okay, what is not going to make somebody sensitive about whatever I write, right? And it makes it a little difficult, when you're targeting and you're trying to sell something where you just don't have better words to say it, and and because it's it makes it difficult. So I understand. I've been in that situation, where where you cannot influence the person into buying something with your words, and it's like that's the whole purpose of marketing. I need to influence somebody to make the purchase. So it's like Facebook doesn't want me to make money, but they want me to make money. So it's like it's a conundrum.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing too with SMS, the benefit of SMS for those who aren't using it is, it doesn't have the restrictions like Facebook does. Of course, you have to abide by laws in terms of giving people the option to opt out, by replying with stop. Also, there are some limitations of certain types of products and things that you can't sell, like guns and some other things. But some of the more, I guess, some of the products that Facebook looks down upon and doesn't allow you to sell, like things with like CBD or cannabis, that you can actually utilize SMS marketing for that. But of course, you can run Facebook ads that are very general and generic to get them into Messenger, and then get their SMS to then do more specific marketing through that way, or obviously through email as well.
Yeah, I had a friend who invited me one time to participate on a CBD website, and we couldn't find a way to market that stuff in Facebook, so we were like, let's move on.
It's tough.
But it was just it was just not logical. He wanted me to do the print-on-demand products for the website. He was going to be doing like CBD oils and stuff like that, but he wanted to have an apparel section in there. So he asked me, let's partner. We can sell the shirts and everything related to this, and I can sell the oils. It seemed like a very good idea at the time, and no, it wasn't. It was a lot of time wasted. Because then Google got also a little picky, and then it was like the only one that was allowing it was Snapchat, and we were like, yeah, but Snapchat was triggering only for the female market. Is the one that goes to Snapchat right now. It's not really a lot of males, and these products were very male oriented. So it's like, never mind, we're moving on, going to some pastures, and it's what we're doing. So now Facebook, it's Facebook, but Instagram is still Facebook. So now print on demand depends. I mean, yes, Facebook is for ads, but Instagram is to showcase. I mean, we go into Instagram to show our products, to make people go fall in love with them. It's a lot more image oriented. How is going to be, having a bot on Instagram? Instagram, yes. Is that going to be something that you think is going to be beneficial, or that we should be first to jump on it, or just wait to see what happens?
Yeah, so I'm actually part of the beta, so I can only talk a little bit about it. But with one of my clients that I am using, it's an e-commerce brand that I'm using the Instagram automation on. It's actually working really well. People on Instagram are going through the automation really well. There's some slight differences between the Instagram automation and the Facebook Messenger automation, but within ManyChat, it's very similar. But the huge benefit is using stories and other mentions that can bring people into the automation aspect of things. And then of course just like with Messenger, one of the first things you want to do is get their contact information that's off of the platform. So email and or SMS. So then that way you can contact them. But because of the fact that Instagram is so focused on imagery and e-commerce too, not to mention that the Instagram shops, right? That utilizing the automation for shops and things is going to be a real game changer for a lot of businesses of helping not only get more sales, but also being able to automate customer service questions and frequently asked questions. So it's not only making money with sales, but saving money, in terms of time of helping people to get where the information that they're looking for in order to get them to either make the purchase or retain them as a customer because you're helping them with a question from a previous purchase.
And that's amazing, because one thing about Facebook right now that is trying to bring all these Facebook shops and stuff like that, there is really no organic way to let people know that we have a store here. It's like you upload the store, you have the store there, but unless you're in the marketplace or you're running some sort of ads, you really don't exist. I mean, you're more lost in the market in Facebook than you will be with a brand new Shopify store that nobody knows it was created today, because it's like so much noise in Facebook for you to be found. Same, it comes into Instagram, right? It's so many noise, so many posts, so many stuff that people don't go and look. People don't go to Instagram or Facebook thinking, I'm going to make a purchase. They go thinking, I'm going to go look for funny cats, funny dogs, make fun of people or praise some celebrity that doesn't deserve it, but they don't go saying, oh, I want to go to Instagram today to make a purchase. So, and Instagram doesn't make it any easier for people to say, you are here to shop either. So this bot, what you're saying is that it can help us capture the attention of the customer and direct it straight to the product that we want to put in front of them and make it more organic. You would say that?
Yeah. Like, for example, right now we're running a Facebook ad that goes to the Instagram newsfeed, and actually we're running two. One is for Amazon purchases, and then one's for the Shopify store purchases. And they just have to click the button like they do for any Instagram ad, and it just pulls up the direct message, not Messenger, but the Instagram DM, where they just have to either reply with a keyword or click the button that has a keyword. And so then that way it takes them through that automation. But in terms of, of course, ads are the pay to play and are a great way to get in front of, your ideal audience. But of course, there's the organic aspect of things, including, especially with Instagram, like influencer stuff. So another thing that we've done is with partnering or working with an Instagram profile that has a ton of followers that are, people that are the ideal audience of this brand. And so having them actually promote it from their channel, they can actually say, hey, go to this, click here, the @ and then the profile name, and then saying, hey, just go into message them with this keyword, and then you'll get a discount code. And so that way it helps to build that list, and then also get people into the company's messenger, or sorry, not messenger, ManyChat, and be able to, say, hey, thanks so much for checking out the profile from so-and-so, right, from the influencer, to get your discount code, what is a good email for you? And so they provide their email, and then it will send them their discount code. So there's a lot of different ways to utilize the automation.
That's amazing.
Both Facebook and Instagram, but with utilizing the Instagram influencer aspect as much as possible, that it will, really streamline that as well.
That is actually something that I would never thought about. It's pretty awesome, because it also allows you to track how many sales were driven by X influencer, so you can actually have your return on investment from whatever money you paid them to promote, or you're gonna pay them an affiliate. You know exactly how many sales they draw because of that specific code. So and because of how many messages got triggered, and it's very transparent, because you can only say, look, this is the number of codes, this is the number of messages, it's a line, and capturing leads and stuff like that for the long term, it's definitely a game changer. Something that, right now it's a problem that we have, right? We want to go and tap into the, influencer market, and it's always about, okay, how do we track our, our return on investment? Like, how many emails were generated by this person? How many cart abandonments was this person? How many people attempted to ask for this coupon? We don't have that tracking, or tag that we can actually say, to send an email and say, this email came from this tag. This tag was sent to the person because of this specific. Now we can say, okay, I paid $500 to this influencer, but this influencer gave me this number of emails, this number of leads. My Facebook pixel go warm by this, and that, and data, and then I made this many conversions. Now you have a real analytical information to say, this was worth it. Instead of before you say, yeah, you pay somebody and it's like, well, I saw 5 shirts. That is not real data, right? It's like, yeah, the 5 shirts probably wouldn't pay the 500, but if you give me 500 emails, from this person, is like, well, $500 for $1 per email plus a couple of sales. That is a good return on the investment, because now I have retargeting, now I have potential long-term customers and stuff like that. So
exactly, yeah. And then if you have an email, service provider like Klaviyo or some others, where each influencer or whatever has their own keyword, that once you collect the email from the person and you give them the coupon code, that you can actually add tags or different properties within the email system to say, okay, this person's email came from this influencer, and then you can track their looking, reverse engineering and saying, okay, we had this many sales. How many of these sales had an email from this that has this tag in it? So it's a really great way to automate, but also automate the process of them getting their code, where they don't have to email or message the Instagram profile waiting for somebody to respond, but also automating the back end to make it easier for and giving better stats, like you're saying, for the ROI based off of any sort of organic influencer that you're paying for.
Yeah, because when you're waiting for somebody manually to ask for the coupon and you give them the coupon, it's very easy to oversee one or two when a bunch of them come at the same time, and then you will confuse some to thinking that they were contacting you for the offer, they were contacting you for something else, and blah 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 blah, right? But I think this is going to be interesting. I knew the Instagram was coming. I think they sent an email this week, or I saw somewhere that they were adding Instagram, and I was very curious. But honestly, I forgot to ask you about this until you mentioned it. I had it on the back of my head because I had it, and I saw the WhatsApp. And when I saw WhatsApp, I'm like, yeah, US, we don't care much about WhatsApp, but you go to Latin America or you go to Asia, WhatsApp is
big.
It's gold.
Oh yeah.
So you are, in those countries, this is going to be an amazing opportunity for you. I have WhatsApp only because I have some international customers that they like to talk to me through WhatsApp, and I usually forget to check it.
Yeah, I know. Same here.
I am not going to reply right away because I am always looking at Messenger. I'm never really looking at WhatsApp, but I have it because of that purpose.
And then also the other thing that's really important too is with just ManyChat in general, it has that direct integration with Shopify. So you can also create single-use coupon codes that way too. So, and of course, if you have Amazon, you could download, create a CSV file of single-use coupon codes. So that way, like let's say instead the influencer was saying, okay, send a message to this profile, this Instagram handle with this keyword, and then you'll get the coupon code. And then if you're sending the same coupon code no matter what, then that person will probably share with their friends and, hey, here's a coupon code to their friend who didn't come in and give their email, right? So the other benefit is you can actually create single-use coupon codes for each person and distribute them via ManyChat. So that way you won't have a bunch of sharing going on, which, if it's, as we know with especially Amazon, that there's a lot of groups out there that they share deals and things like that, which, the deals are great for people to get a deal, but when it's, the whole process is, you give information, your email, your SMS or whatever to get the coupon code, or whatever the deal is. And then when it just gets randomly shared in a bunch of, freebie groups or deal groups, then that kind of takes away the whole benefit for the business to provide that, because it just gets shared. So being able to have that single use coupon code cuts that off and doesn't allow people to do that. So instead, the friend would share saying, hey, send this message to this Instagram profile and you will get a coupon code. And then again, at that point, you're collecting emails, and that's even more organic.
Yes, that will be amazing, because when you give a coupon to somebody, somebody shares the coupon, you don't get the email unless they make the purchase. If you can get a unique coupon, you can get as many emails, which at the end of the day is the name of the game. You want to get emails.
Exactly.
Now, email opening rate, well, it depends on the market, it depends on the niche, it depends on everything, but usually it's about 15% opening rate. Sometimes you get 8, sometimes you get 30. It depends on what you are selling and how engaged your audience is, and how, and stuff like that. How big your email is as well. What is the open rate on a ManyChat message?
So it's a ton, really high usually. Usually between 60 to 90%, depending on when it's being sent and the context of it. One thing with the sponsored messages that I found that helps to increase the engagement rate. So it's not just the open rate, but the engagement rate, which that's a little trick with the sponsored messages, is the more that you get people to engage with the message, because it's being dripped out over a couple of days, Facebook, with their algorithm will see, oh, people are engaging and messaging off of the sponsored message. We're going to make sure we send it to more people because it seems like they like it. So one thing that really helps to increase open and engagement rates is kind of setting it up like it's as much gamification as possible. So one example is like if you're doing a coupon code for 20% off, you can just say, hey, we're doing a special where you get to pick your prize, and you can choose your prize, and it will either be 60% off, 20% off, or 5% off, something like that, right? Even though everybody's going to get 20% off, but you give them options, and they feel like they have to click it, right? I get such great open rates. Of course, though, I don't do that every single time. But doing that really helps to increase the open and engagement rates, is, being able to have something that's like a gamification. There's other things you can do, like spin the wheel, or
I go
implement some like scratch things. The people just love doing those things. And then of course, another thing you can do is gamification in terms of people coming back, where they're making purchases for like loyalty programs that it will increase inside of Messenger their account number that they have, of how many purchases that they get a coupon code from that, right? So after so many purchases, they get this, or so many different things. Like, if you ask them to share on Facebook or share on Instagram, or like the page or like the Instagram profile, excuse me, that they get, so many points for that people really like to do those things to get points that they know that they'll get some sort of reward in the end.
Okay. People are weird.
They are. It works.
But it works. I mean, I know that the SMS open rate is like 80-90% in seconds. So between they receive it, so it's amazing. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, the SMS only invites you to go somewhere else. So because
it's limited. Yeah.
You cannot do much in a text. It's more like, hey, come watch this. Hey, come click on here, and we will take you somewhere else to where we can put you in some funnel now. So it's amazing open rate, but it's not a conversion rate. It's like more like, so when we get 80-90% open rate in SMS, and then we go to ManyChat, we were still in the 60s. That's amazing, because we send them through an email. Email is about 10%, 15% open rate, and then we have about 3% click rate, and then we have about 3% conversions. And it's like it's getting small.
Yep.
So I know. I mean, if you want to set a bot, because we're running towards the end. If you want to set a bot, like, what is the expense involved? If you were to do it alone, or you were to hire someone, like, what is the ballpark? Like, you were to do it alone, what do you need?
So you would need a ManyChat account, and to actually like utilize it, you have a free plan that you can use. It's limited to about 1,000 subscribers, and you can only have limited functionality. So I highly suggest upgrading to Pro, and Pro is actually really affordable. It's $10 for 500 or less subscribers, and then it goes to 15 for 500 to 1,000. So I mean, it's pretty affordable for what it can all do. Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, just getting a ManyChat account. ManyChat does have a free course available to people if they want to go through it. It pretty much walks you through the how to, with building your chatbot with different aspects of things. So pretty much with doing it yourself, it's your time pretty much. So if you have a bunch of time available and you want to learn this and be able to implement it yourself, then definitely, the sky's the limit for you to learn and to really kind of just build it as you need it for your business. Now, in terms of having somebody do it for you, it depends if you're doing Facebook ads with or having them run the traffic with the chatbot, or if you're just wanting them to build it. There's also the option of asking people, finding out if somebody would just build the chatbot and hand it over, like a chatbot build and hand over and say, okay, you run it after they build it. So that usually varies in terms of pricing. It could go anywhere between, 1,000 to, 3,500, 5,000, depending if you have a bunch of integrations or if you want to make it super AI, like using Dialogflow, where it's super conversational and is, like you were saying, like you don't know that if you're talking to a person or a bot. That's the pretty advanced aspect of things. But yeah, so it's a range of pricing. But again, if you don't have a lot of time, if you have more money than time, then you might, oh, sorry, my cat just decided to jump up here. If you have more money than time, then you might want to just pay for somebody to build it for you.
Don't worry, last Friday I was live and my cat jumped into my desk when I was doing a coaching call, and my cat went in heat. So she started doing all sorts of weird stuff on camera. The people that were in my training that day, they had a very good laugh.
Of course.
The cat passing by. Yeah, I'm used to those. I have to.
Yeah, he seems to only do it when I'm like on a call. So it's like, thanks.
Yeah, interesting. Facebook is stopped. Is broadcasting in another group, so there's now 3 groups down. Amazing.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's amazing, but it's still on YouTube and it's still going to page. So we're gonna have to, and I'm sorry, there's so many questions because apparently Facebook is not cooperating. But this is being recorded, thank God. So we
no worries.
We can get it running. So if they want to work with you, do you have a course, program, something that they can, or you have an agency? I mean, how can they get in touch with you if they so want to?
Yeah, so I do have some courses. Mainly it's focusing on helping people to build chatbot agencies, but I also, obviously my course goes into like how to build chatbots and ads. So if you're wanting to do everything yourself, then you might want to, have that as an option. I also do consulting options. So if that's something that you're interested in where you want to learn it, but you want to learn it fast and do it over Zoom where I walk you through how to do it, then that's also an option. Or if you're wanting to potentially have me build it for you, then that's also an option. So yeah, it's one of 3 options for the most part. But with that being said, the best way to find out or to get in contact is if you go to my website, orcamarketology.com. And then you can either submit the form or go through on there. It has my consulting options in my courses there too.
I think I typed it wrong. Marketology.
Yeah, MARKETOLOGY. That whole science background. I'm like, oh, it's like biology, but the science of marketing.
Yeah, I think that, okay, there we go. I think I'm. Yeah. orcamarketology.com.
Yep.
I'm doing it right. It's not working.
It's not working for you?
No. Okay, I'll go to you. I think you have it in your profile.
Yeah. Or worst case, you could also, message my chatbot if you go to Orca Marketology Facebook page, and you can just message me there too.
Yeah, it's just Facebook is acting up right now, so.
Yeah.
It's just, he wants to make me look bad.
That's funny.
Yeah,
and sometimes people tell me that if they put the www in front of the orthomarketology that.
Yeah, I didn't enter the www, and this wasn't working. When I got the www, it worked. So
that's interesting. Yeah.
So yeah, I went without the whole www, and it was giving me headaches, and now it works. So you're gonna get in touch with her. That is her. She's on Facebook. You can search for her.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Do you have any last comments you want to make for the audience in terms of bots, things that they should avoid doing? We talk about all we should do, but we didn't talk about what not to do, what is going to get you in trouble, what will get you, for Facebook to send you to Facebook police or ban.
Yes.
Because right now,
yes, you do not.
A hobby right now. It's like every day I lose at least one friend to ban for dumb reasons. So
exactly.
What is going to get you that?
Yeah, so pretty much if you're following the rules, mainly around message tags, that's the main thing. If people are using the message tags incorrectly, that's the quickest way to get, first you get a warning, so at least there is that. But if you continue to have issues with running your messages without following the rules, then that's where you can get the ban of the page. So definitely if you're using the message tags, make sure you're following the rules. You can, just Google Facebook Messenger tag policy and you'll see it there. And Facebook actually has listings of what you can say, what you can't say as examples. So you want to make sure that you're utilizing that much as possible. But, so you don't get banned, really getting people getting their information for email and SMS is really the way to go. So then that way, you have their information in case the worst happens, right? We always think about worst case scenario. But if you're following the rules, if you're, following within the policies, then you shouldn't have an issue.
They shouldn't have an issue. That's the key word, shouldn't.
Yes.
Nice word.
Exactly. And then, you could always appeal. I've had a page that got, when they were first having the tags, it was a page for that they do webinars and stuff. And I was running, saying, hey, here's the message of, the event starting. And I got a warning, a couple warnings. I'm like, I'm saying that it's for the event that they've registered for, and they've registered it within Messenger. And ended up getting the page having where I can't use the tags in that page. And come to find out, Facebook then came out saying, oh, you want to make sure you reference the fact that they registered for the event in that message. After they'd already, taken the ability to run those tags from that page. I'm like, really? Now you tell me this? But the good news is I can still use messages just fine. I'm using that omni-channel approach and we're still getting great conversions. I just can't use that message tag, but I've just created instead a strategy where I have people engage with the chatbot once a day. So it keeps that 24-hour window open. So then once the event is starting, I can send them that message if they've engaged. And if not, I've got their SMS or email.
So when you create a funnel, for lack of better words, you have a 30-day, 60-day funnel so that you keep getting them engaged every 24 hours?
So for the event example, usually people register for the event on a Monday and the event is on a Thursday. Yeah. So it's that week. But I also have a client who has a course and is a coach. And so between launches or during the launch, it's multiple months. I drip out content every 3 days. And with that, I'm utilizing SMS and email heavily that brings them back into Messenger and then gets them to opt into that one-time notification as much as possible. So that way I'm still getting them the content. They're still getting used to clicking to Messenger, which is good because once the launch happens, with the webinar and things like that, they'll be used to that process. So it's totally doable. You're not stuck, necessarily, the fact of thinking, oh, well, once somebody doesn't engage with me for a day, they're a lost cause. No, you can still reach them and you just want to try and get them to re-engage inside of Messenger.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I've seen that before. I think Arne Geske does that quite a lot. When he's about to launch something, he's every 23 hours, he's like, hey, yesterday I sent you this thing, and now what about this one? Here's a little freebie. do you want to get, are you ready for tomorrow? And it's like, nothing is happening tomorrow, but sure, why not? And it's like, and then finally it's day 7. It's like, okay, here's the big offer, right? And
yeah.
And he just asks like, okay, whenever you just keep saying yes, you do, okay, yes, whatever. I do want this offer, yes, So, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people drop, from that. So, but now you said we can retarget it, we can re-engagement, and that's what you want at the end of the day, right? And if they drop, you already got the information, so you can email them or something else or SMS.
Exactly.
Awesome. This was an amazing conversation. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry for there goes a 4 group. It's amazing. I was broadcasting in 7 places. Now we're only in 2.
Facebook, gotta love it.
Hilarious. I want to thank you so much. It was very, very useful. I mean, I learned a lot myself.
Okay.
I had in the back of my head the Instagram. I am super excited to see it come because it's one of the reasons I don't use Instagram is because I'm, as a seller and as an influencer, selling my courses, because I don't have a way to get them, Facebook ads don't convert very well on Instagram, for some people, right? And that,
well, especially not into Messenger.
Yes.
So if you're trying to run Facebook ads into Messenger from Instagram, it's like a lost cause. So it's like I've never ran, Messenger ads to Instagram because it's just too much of an ask. But being able to run Instagram ads into Instagram DM is a game changer.
Yeah, this is gonna be a game changer for sure. I'll keep track. I'm jealous that you have it. Not that I would use it anyways right now, but I'm always jealous of people that get to try toys first, And,
yeah, right.
Yeah. So, but we don't. I mean, I get to try things that other people don't get to try, and I get to brag about it too. So that makes me
exactly.
I want to thank you so much. For being here once more, and and guys, if you want, you want to have a bot and you want to learn more about bots, make sure to follow, Mackensie. I hope you learn a lot. I know a lot of you are going to be watching this we will make sure that all of you watch this on the replays. And hopefully this is a better angle for, for your business. And, I mean, Shopify has been very connected to how bots work since forever. They may not be into Shopify. It may have a different names, but at the end of the day, it's bots. ManyChat has made a very good tool that is very, it's pretty simple to use. You look into it. Once you figure out how to make a good funnel, it's, I mean, you know how to make ClickFunnels, you know how to make a bot, probably.
Yeah. And keep it simple too when you're first starting out. Like you don't need to get super advanced and crazy. Yeah, just keep it simple.
I make things complicated. But I want to thank you so much. And everybody, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful night. Thank you. And thank you for introduction. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.